Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually doing a Q&A. I realized I've actually never done one on my channel before. I've done like tags and whatnot, but I've never actually done an actual general Q&A. So that's actually what I'm going to be doing today. You guys actually sent me some questions, so we'll see how quick I can get through this. If I can't, I probably will split the video into two parts. So here are all my questions. I have quite a few to get through. What's one thing you did that made you feel alive? One thing I did that made me feel alive. I'm quite a boring person. I don't really do much. I think actually doing YouTube sounds so cliche, but it's actually made me feel like alive, because I feel like, you know, there's a purpose, and you know, there's things I have to do, and there's people that are, you guys, that are, you know, willing to come and watch and see me, and that's actually made me feel so much more active in my life, and I think it's a good thing. Because I know you love weddings, what would be your dream wedding for you if you had no budget? Okay, I really like weddings. I don't know if it's because I'm Nigerian or because I'm a girl or because of both those factors. If I had no budget, okay, so this sounds so sad, but I've basically, you know, pre-planned my wedding in my head, and you know what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna wear. So this is how it goes. You guys sit down. You might want some biscuits or a bit of tea for this, because you know I'm gonna go into, you know, let me sit on my bed properly. So for the engagement, yeah, I'm gonna have a nice big engagement in a nice hall, maybe one nice hotel in West End or something, or somewhere in Essex, somewhere cute. And everyone's gonna be wearing their Ashwa Ebi, and you know, they're just gonna have the thrones there. I've already even got the colour scheme in my head, but where's the ring on my finger there? Yeah. For the actual white wedding as well, I want it to be like really grand, and I want like a really nice dress. So I've never been like a ball gown kind of girl. I've kind of been like a fishtail mermaid kind of girl, and you know, I want lace sleeves. I love lace wedding dresses, so if I ever get married, you will see me in a lace wedding dress. I've always been particular about my guests as well. I don't like weddings where your mum's sister's cousin's friend's brother's dog brings his auntie. I don't like those kind of weddings. So I've always said I'm gonna have some tight security at my wedding. I'm not a celebrity, so I don't know why I'm saying this, but like, there's gonna be security there, and if you don't RSVP, you're not coming. So no invite, you're not coming to the wedding. I don't care if my mum wants to bring her brother's cousin's friend. No invite, no entry. What else? I think I want to change quite a few times as well, but you know, God willing, there will be a lot of money, so I won't have to be a budget. But most importantly as well, I know I'm not, you know, displaying some good advice or traits right now, but the most important thing about everyone's wedding is the marriage. So it's not the wedding that's the most important thing, because you don't want to spend 100k on your wedding, and at the end of the day you're eating Gary at home with your bae. Doesn't really make sense. So plan your weddings in proportion to your budget, to your finances, sorry. Yeah, so that's why it's important to have a budget. But if I had no budget, we would definitely not even be in the UK. We'll probably be in Mauritius. We'll do a location wedding. You feel me? What's the secret to a long-lasting relationship? I think with relationships, there's a lot of give and take, but importantly as well, there's a lot of compromise, and sometimes not always thinking about yourself. Sometimes you need to think about your partner as well. I've learned as well, when you're arguing, like, I never just like to forget about an argument. I kind of always want to talk through the argument and understand why we even argued in the first place. So I like to find a lot of resolutions, and I feel like that's something that, you know, is a good thing, because then if you find that maybe you're arguing about the same thing over and over and over again, then, you know, it must be something that you need to tackle. So I always feel like, you know, being someone that compromises, you need to compromise, because sometimes you can't have your own way in every single situation. Finding resolutions to problems. I think as well, another secret to a long-lasting relationship is, I think, is being really close to this person. I would say me and my boyfriend, we're somewhat best friends. So like, he's the male version of me and I'm the female version of him, so we just stick well together, and like, we literally just talk about anything and everything because we're best friends. So we've always had that friend element to our relationship rather than just being boyfriend and girlfriend. So yeah, I think that's the secret to a long-lasting relationship. Oh, and having God at the center as well. Having God at the center makes you want to compromise, makes you want to find resolutions, it makes you want to do all those things, and you know, sometimes putting your partner before yourself. How has uni impacted your view on education and its link to getting into your desired career? I think uni has in a way changed my view on education. I know now that you know, higher education isn't accessible for everyone. It's not an opportunity that everyone gets, and you know, I've learned as well that it's not an opportunity that everyone should take, because there's ways to get to your job probably without even getting to university. So it's taught me a lot about research as well. That's what uni has taught me a lot about. You don't just come here for coming here's sake. If you're coming here, you kind of need to have like a plan in your head, even if it's not a stable plan of, yeah, I'm going to be an accountant or I'm going to be a doctor. It just kind of, you know, helps you to create somewhat of a plan in your head, even if you start developing that plan when you get to university. And it's linked into getting into your desired careers. I've learned as well from other people, not from myself, to actually make use of your resources whilst you're at uni. Some people just come to uni, you know, do their assignments, you know, hand in work, go to lectures, go to seminars and go. But I've learned, since we're paying £9 you need to actually make the most of the services that your university gives to you. So if you have an academic advisor, talk to your academic advisor. If they're running workshops to do with investment banking, go to the workshops to do with investment banking. Remember, you're paying £9, so you need to milk it at every chance you get. Your life changed since starting YouTube? I think that would be a yes and no question. No, my life hasn't changed. I don't walk on the street and people point at me, oh my gosh, that's Kika AJ, or you know, that doesn't happen to me. It has changed in the fact that, you know, it's made me think about probably the way I speak, the things I talk about, and you know, how I actually impact other people's lives. So it's made me think that even though you may do small things, they do impact other people's lives. So I remember when I first started YouTube, I used to think, okay, who's gonna watch me? I'm gonna have like 300 subscribers by the end of the year, and I was okay with that. But then as the numbers grew and as people started like emailing me or inboxing me about certain issues, it meant that, yeah, okay, people are actually listening, and it made me want to help people a lot more. So my life has changed in that aspect. I just feel more willing to help people. I was always willing before, but a lot more willing to help people now. I think it's changed me for the fact that I feel more comfortable in front of the camera. So from where you're sitting behind your little computer screen or phone screen or wherever you're watching this from, it looks as if I'm talking directly to you. But where I am now, I am sitting in front of a camera. So it's kind of weird at first, and you feel silly that, oh my gosh, I'm talking to a camera, but after a while you kind of get used to it, and I kind of can channel you guys wherever you are in Peckham, Brixton, Canterbury, Coventry. I could see you, and I could just kind of feel you guys' presence here. How old are you and what do you study at uni? For you guys that don't know, I am 19 years old and I study politics and international relations. I actually studied accounting and finance last year, but obviously I hated the course. I will actually put a link to my pre-university story below, so then you guys could check that out, because yeah, it's a bit of a breath. So yeah, that's what I actually study, and that's how old I am. What university do I go to? I go to the University of Kent in Canterbury. What's your favourite hairstyle? Obviously I wear a wig, for you guys that don't know, which you probably would know by now anyway, but I wear a wig. And I would say, even though I have like the choice to kind of dabble in between like quite a few hairstyles, I would say I love them all, but I do have like, probably there are a few hairstyles that probably lead a bit more than the rest. So I do love an actual middle part. So even though this isn't a long middle part, I like a really long middle parts, because they can just look so classy, especially when they're jet black and they're straight and it just looks sleek on your head. I really like that. And I actually do like braids, but braids when they're neat. So literally the first day you do them and the day after, but after a week I start to hate it because it starts to get messy. So I think I would say those are my two favourite hairstyles. How did you meet your boo? Well, I met him at church, and it was actually a friend's church, and it was their youth day. I kind of had been going on and off to the church, and I decided to pop in at the youth day. It was like a youth weekend event thing, and I actually first saw him on the Friday. So it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event. Friday they had like a game show and he was hosting, so I was just kind of there, you know, looking about and whatever. I also went to the youth day after work on a Saturday, and it was like a praise and worship night. It was really good, and yeah, saw him again. And then on the Sunday, I actually wasn't meant to go on the Sunday because I had work, but somehow my friend and her friends had convinced me to call in sick to work, so I did, and I went to church, and there was the main service obviously, and then after the main service there was actually like a barbecue kind of after party thing in their church, and I would be what you call a rap genius. I just kind of have a lot of lyrics in my head, so whatever song from the 1980s through to the 1990s, the 2000s up to now, I kind of, you know, have a good knowledge of some songs. So whatever song the DJ would play, I would always just be on the dance floor kind of singing along, kind of twiddling my horn. And there was a few songs that obviously some people didn't know, and he was the only one that knew the song, so evidently we would be the only two people on the dance floor. So we kind of clicked in that aspect already, because, you know, it's kind of like, okay, so you do have good taste in music. And obviously him and my friend that invited me to the church, they were quite close as well, so she introduced me to him, and we found out we were going to the same uni, so we just kind of got talking, and yeah, that's how I met him. How do you handle being a Christian and handling pressures of the world? Okay, it does get really hard sometimes, especially with balancing everything and making sure your focus is solely on Christ. Don't get me wrong, like, I am not the most perfect Christian. I'm nowhere near like even great, and for me it's literally one step at a time, and allowing the Spirit to speak to me, and, you know, using my discernment, or asking the Spirit to help me to discern a lot of the time my situation and people around me. So it gets hard sometimes as a Christian, but then in the Bible it doesn't say it's going to be an easy race. It's going to be hard, you know, you're going to lose friends along the way, you know, hardships will come, and, you know, sometimes you will feel that strain of being a Christian, but I don't know, the love for Christ and the knowledge that he's always there and he'll help me in whatever situation I need kind of seems to keep me going. And like with the pressures of the world, I have learned a lot of lessons from trying to run from God and trying to do my own thing. So dealing with the pressures, I kind of just always remember my lessons that I've learned, and kind of, you know, the word that God has spoken to me. And yeah, that's how I deal with a lot of the pressures. And I try and pray and read my word a lot. I try and spend more time with God, because I feel like, you know, I'm trying to know myself. And like I've always said, when you get a new phone and you want to know how the phone works, what do you look in? You look in the manual. And, you know, for me to understand myself and to understand my maker, I need to spend a lot of time in my manual, which is the Bible. I think as well, having like-minded people around you makes the walk a bit more easier, because then, you know, they understand your struggles and, you know, the pressures, and you're able to talk to someone, and then most importantly have someone to pray with, which I think is awesome. I learned that when I first started to become a lot more serious with my walk, I had a lot of friends around me that were kind of not, you know, encouraging in a way, and the fact that even though they didn't know that I had, you know, become born again, they were kind of living their lives. And sometimes when you're newborn into this, you know, walk, you could get, what's the word, you could get overwhelmed by the old lifestyle that you lived. And, you know, sometimes you need to separate yourself from that for a while, and, you know, just focus on making yourself a bit more stronger, because, you know, Paul says in the word as well, when I was a child I used to drink milk, but now I need some meat. So sometimes to get that meat, you need to separate yourself from the people that, you know, aren't very encouraging of your walk. And then later on in time, they will see your life and, you know, think that, yeah, God's actually had a good hand in her life. Maybe God could help me too. What lashes are you wearing? Okay, if you guys have me on Snapchat, I've actually been bragging a lot about my ILO 127s. So let me see if I have a pack, and then, yeah, I can show you guys what the pack is. But this is how they look. So they're like double lashes stacked into one, and yeah, I really like them. I've been wearing them quite a lot recently. Let me see if I could get a pack and show you guys. Okay, so this is what they look like in the pack. Oh, 126s. Sorry, they're 126s. And yeah, I have like a drawer at uni that's just full of these eyelashes now, because I love them so much. They're a bit pricey, but at the moment Superdrug are actually having a deal on these eyelashes, so it's 2 for, okay, you get one full price and the other one half price, so it's £7, so half price would be like £3.50, so £10 for technically 2 lashes. But they're worth it, they are so worth it. So if, you know, you're looking for a good pair of lashes, I would suggest these. What do you like in a guy? I always used to say I never had a type and I never had a preference, and if I like someone, I like someone. But evidently you must have a type and you must have a preference if you see yourself going for the same kind of people all the time. So in terms of like physical attributes, I don't really have a care in the world. I mean, does it make me bad if I say I don't? No, let me not even let me not even say that. Okay, as your inner person, I really like people that are funny and open to have fun. So you know, as important as it is to be serious, I don't like overbearingly serious people. It makes me always on edge, it makes me anxious, and I can't deal with those kind of people. I like people that are really into like different types of music, because I'm very much of a vibey person, if you haven't got the vibe by now. And I like people that are open. I really like open guys. Don't try and hide stuff from me, because I will find out. Like, that's just the kind of girl I am. I like to snoop a lot, so like, don't hide stuff. I really like open relationships. If you're open with me, I'm a bit open with you, but if not, you know, things can crash and burn very quickly. Importantly, I do like a guy that listens. Like, sometimes a lot of things go on in one's life and you do want someone to talk to, and if I feel like, you know, there's a guy that I'm supposed to be with and he doesn't listen to me, then it's kind of like, what's the point? You're kind of meant to help me through these issues, and you know, I'm meant to help you through your issues, but if you're not listening to me, then why are we here? And where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 5 years I will be 24, so hopefully I would have graduated. No, in fact, I will have graduated. Let's change that vocabulary there. I would have graduated with, you know, maybe a first class, God willing, with a first class. Maybe I'll be engaged, hopefully. Maybe, we'll see. Well, God willing, what God wants, maybe I'll be engaged. I think as well, I would have probably saved a few, you know, a fair bit of money, so I could probably start getting ready to get myself onto the property ladder, which I know is probably a bit hard as a first timer, but you know, through Christ all things are possible. So I think by 24 I really wanted to be getting ready to actually mortgage a house. In terms of like career, right now I actually don't know what I want to do, but I hope that by the time in 5 years time, God actually would have revealed to me fully what he wants me to do, and I would, you know, somewhat have got the ball rolling by the time I'm 24. In terms of family, I pray that family life obviously gets 10 times better. So in terms of my friends as well, I hope that, you know, in 5 years time my friends are doing well and I'm doing well, and we're all doing well together as a unit. In terms of YouTube, I actually would still want to be filming in 5 years time. I kind of want to build my what's it called, database, fan base. I kind of want to build my fan base a bit more, so you know, so I can help more people. Like I said, I kind of really do helping people, so yeah, I hope in 5 years time that kind of blooms a bit more. In terms of my walk with Christ, the things I'm struggling now will be, you know, a thing of the past, and new challenges will be awaiting me. So in 5 years time I definitely want to say that I could probably start mentoring other people, and you know, God would have raised me up, you know, far enough for me to help people that were like me when I was 19. So yeah, we'll see. And in 5 years time I will actually come back and look at this video and see just how much I actually have achieved. And yeah, in 5 years time I still want to be slim and slender, boo boo. Will you make an updated foundation and contour routine? Yes, I actually will do that, because I've actually changed a lot of things, and you know, I've changed how I view my face if I'm going out. So my face now probably looks a bit different to how my face first looked when I started YouTube. So like, my eyebrows are probably a lot less heavier. I actually contour differently now, and I use a lot of different things to highlight and, you know, set my face. So yeah, maybe I will do that. Maybe by the end of the month, we'll see. Who is your inspiration and why? I think it's like a bunch of different people that inspire me. I think the number one person that actually inspires me, this is gonna sound so cliche, is actually my dad. My dad inspires me in so many ways that, like, it's actually unbelievable. My dad is such a strong man, and like, I don't know, I pray that my children have a father like my father, because yeah, everything that he's done for me is out of the selflessness of his heart, and he's just the most selfless person you will ever meet. And me and my dad have a really open relationship, and I appreciate the trust that he has in me as his daughter. So my dad inspires me so much, and yeah, I don't know. My dad inspires me just so much. I love him so much. Who inspires me as well? Christ inspires me. Obviously, I have to say Christ. I'm a Christian. Christ inspires me to want to, you know, be like him every day. And yeah, that was all the questions that you guys decided to ask me. My throat is actually feeling a bit raspy after answering all those questions, so I will actually see how long this video ends up being, and if it's too long I am going to split it into two, because I feel like all the questions do deserve some light. So how about that? But anyway, yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. If you do, like I said, have any more questions to ask, or you know, have any things you actually want to discuss, my email address will be below in the description box, or will be at the end of this video, along with my Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. Bye.